Hello, welcome to another episode of This, That, and the Other. And whenever you go to the grocery store, periodically you may run into a product called Morton Salt and see the picture of a little girl on the box showing her with an umbrella. It's raining outside and she's carrying a container of salt and not paying attention to what she's doing, and the salt's pouring out onto the ground with the saying, when it rains it pours, old saying. And basically you're saying that one bad thing happens, another bad thing is going to keep happening. And that was one of the problems prior to especially the early 1900s. Housewives had to contend with salt becoming sticky, clumping up. When it was humid or raining outside, the salt would clump together. And it used to be frustrating for housewives. They used to have to chisel it apart. It was very annoying in order to get the salt to work, and forget trying to get it to work in a salt shaker. Salt clumping was such an issue that Morton Salt Company devised a new free-flowing salt that promised not to clump even on a rainy day. Beginning in 1911, they added a non-caking agent made of magnesium carbonate to its salt. It worked. The salt didn't clump. And although today salt contains calcium silicate as a non-caking agent, the original magnesium carbonate was a breakthrough for the stable salt industry. Now the executives at Morton had to figure out a way to market their product. So that's where they were trying to come up with something to explain how the problem with salt, and how theirs was not going to be a problem. And that's how that expression, when it rains it pours, came about. Morton Salt even put a spout on the top to allow for easy pouring and to reinforce the idea that the brand of salt was pourable. In fact, Morton Salt Company patented the spout. Then came the Morton Salt Girl. The advertising agency of N.W. Ayers and Company was hired by Morton Salt Company to create a series of print ads that were good to run in Good Housekeeping magazine. Their goals was to explain that the salt would not clump, and that it was sold in a unique blue cylinder package with convenient pouring spout on the top. The ad agency presented the Morton executives with 15 possible ads. One stood out from all the rest. It showed a little girl in one hand was holding an umbrella to protect her from the rain, and the other hand she was holding a container of Morton salt tilted so that the salt was pouring from the spout. From there, the Morton Salt Girl was born. Next thing they come up with was the slogan. One they came up with was even rainy weather, it flows freely. And Sterling Morton thought it was too wordy. He had the advertising experts come up with something shorter, and this is what they came up with. It was catchy. When it rains, it pours. The Morton Salt Girl has gone through 6 different makeovers over the years, and try to show you what they look like. Got 1921. Oh, I'm sorry. Go to the very beginning. 1914, 1921. Yeah, it's 1921. Hard to do this. I don't know how to make these images appear like some of you other people do. YouTube videos do. 1933. All right, we got get to the far left with this. We got 1941 to right of hers, 1956, and then the one that's still being used today, 1968. That's the image I remember from when I was a little kid back in the 1960s. That Morton Salt Girl. Those others were before my time, but there were a lot more changes. Like you had 7 years, the first to second, then 12 more years, and then 8 more years, and then 15 more years, and then 12 more years after that, and it stayed with that particular Morton Salt girl. And I do have a memory in Okinawa they used to put rice in the salt shakers to keep the salt from clumping in the restaurants. I do remember that. And no information on who the Morton Salt girl was or anything. Nothing like that. I I can imagine it wasn't any girl in particular. Just it was an image that was made, and no person in particular. Kind of like the Quaker Oats man I was talking about before. And with that being said, looking for ideas on shows to do in the future. Like I said before, I do shows on preserving history, especially obscure aspects of history, like this obscure aspect. And like, subscribe, share. As always, thanks for watching.